Day 10 of the World Cup is in the books. Before we get to the 4 games today, if you've noticed, I've been in a hotel these past couple videos. I was traveling because today, at least in me filming this, was my graduation ceremony. It was so much fun to see all my fellow classmates graduate along with me. It was so fun. Just got back from the graduation ball. They had a band and then a DJ. It was just so much fun. And I just feel very happy right now. So I'm sending all of my happy, fun, positive vibes through the screen to you at home. And with that, let's get into the games. We will start with Group F. 8th ranked Netherlands taking on 38th ranked Sweden. Coming into this game, the Netherlands drew Japan 2-2, and then Sweden won 5-1 against Tunisia. We got a goal early for the Netherlands in the 5th minute. Brobbey would score to make it 1-0. He would score again in the 17th minute to make it 2-0. Gakpo would score in the 47th to make it 3-0. And then he would score again in the 54th to make it 4-0. Elanga would get one back for Sweden to make it 4-1 in the 59th. And then to cap it off, Somerville would score in the 89th to make it 5-1. And that is the final. A monster win for the Netherlands over Sweden. Disappointing performance by Sweden based on how they played against Tunisia. Not what you expect. We can take a look at the stats here. Pretty even possession, 51% to 49% in favor of the Netherlands. XG, 2.61 for the Netherlands and 1.01 for Sweden. Shots, 10, 7 on target for the Netherlands. Look at Sweden, though, 16, 8 on target. So got a lot of shots. Couldn't get any goals, though. For your man of the match, courtesy of FOTMob, we have Gakpo, 9.3 player rating with the brace. Shout out to Brobbey as well with the brace. I'm noticing a lot of games where players are scoring 2 goals. We have a lot of braces in this tournament, but no one has broken any bones, right? We're talking about braces like scoring 2 goals. Another dumb joke by me. It's late at night. You bear with me, folks. Up next for the Netherlands, they will take on Tunisia, June the 25th. And then for Sweden, they'll take on Japan, also on the 25th. Sweden got to beat Japan to come out of this group with that loss today. We'll see if they can get it done. Now, let's head to the big game. The reason why I'm wearing this jersey, I brought it with me just for today, hoping that my team in Group E, 10th ranked Germany, could get a big win against 33rd ranked Ivory Coast. Coming into this one, Germany, of course, that touchdown victory over Curacao, 7-1. And then the Ivory Coast coming in had that late goal to break Ecuadorian hearts, and they won the match 1-0. It wasn't looking good, though, for Germany, I gotta say. Kessié would score in the 30th minute to make it 1-0. And then we head to the 60th minute. Julian Nagelsmann goes to the bench, brings in Dennis Undav, paid dividends. He would score 8 minutes later in the 68th to tie the game up. And then at the death, 90 plus 4 minutes, Undav again to win the game 2-1 for Germany. There was a moment in this game where I'm sure a lot of German fans were thinking, oh, here we go again. A team that we should be beating, we're not going to beat. It has felt like that was going to happen again. Because keep in mind, Germany have not made it past the group stage since that 2014 World Cup in Brazil, and they won it. So I had that sense of like, oh boy, here we go again for Germany. It's not going to happen again. It's just cursed. They're cursed. But Undav to the rescue. And there were lots of question marks about Germany, who was going to be the striker. I believe it's Kai Havertz, who they had up top. It's late at night, so if that's wrong, let me know. But I believe it was Kai Havertz who they have up top. He's not a pure striker. Undav is a pure striker, but he's obviously not like Kai Havertz popular or whatever. After this performance, I think you got to start Undav up top. I think from here on out, he's got to be your striker. Stats in this game: possession 60-40 in favor of Germany. XG 1.89, 1.22 in favor of Germany. Shots 16, 7 on target for the Germans, 9, 2 shots for the Ivory Coast. What do they call the Ivory Coast? The Coasters? Germans, Ivory Coast, the Coasters. The Ivory Coasters, maybe. Man of the match is Undav with the brace again. We got 1, 2, 3 braces today. 8.7 player rating, courtesy of FOTMob. Up next for Germany, they will take on Ecuador on the 25th. And then Ivory Coast will take on Curacao also on the 25th. From my understanding, we'll take a look at the standings in a bit. But with this victory, I believe Germany has clinched a spot in the round of 32. So congrats to Germany. Gotta love it. Now, go to Group E again. We have Ecuador ranked 23rd, taking on Curacao ranked 82nd. Coming into this game, Ecuador, the heartbreaking loss to the Ivory Coast 1-0. And then Curacao lost 7-1 against Germany. However, they drew the game 1-1, and it looked like there was a chance for them to get a second, but Germany just overpowered them. But a lot of good things to take away for Curacao from that match. And it looks like they did a pretty solid job because on paper, you expect Ecuador to pump a couple of goals past Curacao. Didn't give up any goals. Unfortunately, though, Curacao didn't score any. But I guess it's better than... A draw is better than losing. But Curaçao's first ever point at the World Cup. 0-0 draw to Ecuador. Very impressive for the Ivory Coast. Ecuador, disappointing World Cup. I gotta say, a loss and a draw. And they haven't even played Germany yet. Surprising. The stats in this game tell a very interesting story. Possession 75-25 for Ecuador, so it's very dominant. XG of 2.84 to 0.50 in favor of Ecuador, so could have scored 3-4 goals today and didn't. Shots 27-15 on target. That's like one of the higher on target point totals so far that I've seen in this World Cup. And then Curacao. Have I been saying Ivory Coast? I apologize. Curacao. 25% for Curacao, 0.5 for Curacao, 10, 3 on target for Curacao. It's so late at night, I sometimes just say things, so 10, 3 on target for Curacao. Good. Man of the match is Room, 9.3 player rating. And then up next for Ecuador, they'll take on Germany on the 25th, and then Curacao will take on the Ivory Coast also on the 25th. Head to our final game. It just wrapped up. I watched the end of it. In Group F, Tunisia ranked 45th, taking on Japan ranked 18th. Coming in, Tunisia lost 5-1 to Sweden, and then Japan drew to the Netherlands 2-2. Another early goal, kind of like this Netherlands game. Kamada would score in the 4th minute to make it 1-0 Japan. Ueda would score in the 31st to make it 2-0 Japan. We get to the second half. Ito would score in the 69th minute, which is very nice. Wink. To make it 3-0. And then Ueda would score again. A brace for Ueda in the 83rd to make it 4-0. And that's how it's going to end for Japan. Great victory for them, a team that they should be beating. They took care of business. 4 points in the bank for them. Good tournament so far for the Japanese. Kind of a dark horse team. People are choosing to get to at least the quarters, if not further. I can't remember where I had them in my brackets. Maybe it was the quarters. I don't think I had them in, definitely not in the semis. It might have been the quarters. I'll have to rewatch that video. If you want to rewatch that video, I have a YouTube playlist with all the World Cup videos I made. Head there to fact check me. The stats in this game: possession 38 to 62 in favor of Japan. XG, this is probably the lowest XG I've ever seen in my life. 0.05 for Tunisia, and then 2.07 for Japan. Shots 2-0 on target for Tunisia, 11-5 on target for Japan. Man of the match, courtesy of FOTMob, is Ueda with a 9.3 player rating. Up next for Tunisia, they will take on the Netherlands on the 25th, and then Japan will take on Sweden also on the 25th. So the theme for day 10 has to be braces. Broby with the brace, Gakpo with the brace, Undav with the brace, and Ueda with the brace. 1, 2, 3, 4 braces today. Amazing stuff. This golden boot race is going to be very interesting because so many people are scoring braces. We saw Messi get a hat trick. Like Holland and Mbappe got braces. Harry Kane got a brace. So it's going to be a very interesting golden boot race. Especially with this expanded format, I feel like we're seeing a lot more goals in general, which could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you look at it. I've already mentioned I like the expanded format, but let me know in the comment section if you like it or hate it. But here we go. We have our results to recap. 5-1 for the Netherlands, 2-1 for Germany, 0-0 Ecuador Curacao, and then 4-0 for Japan. Let's take a look at how it impacts the standings now. All right, let's take a look at the standings for groups E and F. I'm not going to spin around in the chair again like I did in the last video. I literally felt like I was going to puke at any second, so I'm not doing that again. Also, forgot to say hello to my special co-host, Pep, over here. If you know, you know. Eastern State Penitentiary. Look up Pep, the dog. Sadly was arrested for a crime he did not commit. Put it in the comment section. Hashtag justice for Pep. But let's take a look at Group E. In first, we have Germany, 2 wins, 6 points, +7 goal differential. In second, we have the Ivory Coast, 1 win, 1 loss with 3 points and a 0 goal differential. In third, we have Ecuador, 1 draw, 1 loss, 1 point, a -1 goal differential. And then Curacao in fourth, 1 draw, 1 loss, 1 point, a -6 goal differential. All this talk about Germany not being legit contenders, I hope those people have been silenced. All these expert pundits saying, oh yeah, Germany, they can't do it. You know, they're not going to go, they don't have the quality, you know, they're not consistent enough. I tell you what, today, you know, tough opponent, they were able to get the job done. I mean, how can you not think Germany could make a run in this tournament at this point? If people are saying, if these pundits on Fox are saying that the United States has a shot to make the finals, which is the most ludicrous statement I think I've ever heard on TV, then Germany has a shot. Let me know in the comment section. But yeah, in this group, so Germany are moving on for sure. Ivory Coast, it looks like they're going to be second. And then Ecuador, Curacao. Oof. One of them would have to win. I don't see Curacao winning. But if Ecuador won, there's a chance that they could make it through. But yeah, if Ecuador or Curacao, if they lose, then they're done. It's just going to be Germany and Ivory Coast moving on. So yeah, that's Group E for you. Let's take a look at Group F now. In first, we have the Netherlands. 1 win, 1 loss, 4 points in first place. In second place, we have Japan. 1 win, 1 draw, 4 points, +4 goal differential. I wonder how that works. Netherlands and Japan, 4 points each, +4 goal differential. But I think since the Netherlands have scored 7 goals compared to Japan's 6, I think that's the next tiebreaker. So that's why they're first. Sweden in third. 1 win, 1 loss, 3 points, a 0 goal differential. And then Tunisia in last. 2 losses, no points, -8 goal differential. So Tunisia are done. I think 3 teams will get out of this group. The order, I still think Netherlands will be first. I think Japan will be second, and it'll be Sweden third. That's my prediction. I think that's what I had in my bracket that I filled out earlier. And then poor Tunisia. Good effort, but not good enough for the World Cup, sadly. But yeah, that is the standings. Let me know your thoughts on the matches today and the standings in the comment section down below. Again, thank you, Pep, for joining me today. Good dog. Give Pep a shout in the comment section as well. Make sure you follow me on YouTube. I also have a Blue Sky account if you want to follow me there. Link in the video description. Also, I'm trying to think of other links I have in there. I partnered with Barvita. They're like little snack bars, so if you're hungry, instead of reaching for like a Snickers bar or a candy bar, a Barvita bar is actually made with whole ingredients, a lot healthier for you than a Snickers bar. Reach for that instead. Use the link in the description. You get 15% off, code GRANT15, and you can snack whenever you like. And then I also partnered with the Beano boards. I don't have it with me, but it's basically like a flick, like soccer game. They have different customizations with like the national teams, MLS teams, Premier League teams, Bundesliga teams, I think La Liga as well. All like the major teams in the world that have custom like little fields where you can play this flick soccer game. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, click the link in the video description. I believe the discount code you get there is 10% off if you use my link. So head there and then like the video if you want. You don't have to. And just thank you for all the support and for watching these videos. It's so much fun to make, to talk about soccer, to keep it kind of old school. Because a lot of stuff on YouTube, there's so much like AI generated stuff. There's so much like technology stuff. There's just something nice about like writing the scores on a whiteboard and just talking about it and just filming it on a camera and just keeping it simple. Even though, you know, it's still, I guess, high tech, but it feels like we're doing some low tech content here, which I love, keeping it old school in terms of technology. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. Let me know your thoughts as well. And I will leave you with that. Thank you again, and we will see you for day 11 of the World Cup. Peace.